Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever. The video I posted last week I filmed in like the beginning of October, so it has been so long since I've sat down and filmed a video. Life has been so tough recently. But anyways, I thought I would do my November wrap up. I know October, oh my goodness, my October wrap up. I know this is gonna be a little bit late, but hopefully you guys enjoy it anyways. Let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot I need to do today and I don't even want to think about it. The first book I read in October was The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. I guess it's not really a trilogy because The Brothers Hawthorne's coming out, but it's the third in that little series, and this book was so good. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I really liked it. I think overall this is a 5-star series for me. I don't know if I've given any of the books 5 stars, but it's definitely a 5-star series for me. Don't ask me how that works because I don't know, but it was so good. I loved getting like little bits of the boys, and I love the little games that they play, and I'm so excited for, I don't know if it's a series, but I know it's her new book coming out next June, and that's The Grandest Game. It's gonna be so good and I cannot wait for that one. But I love this little world and these characters so much. Right after that I read The Island by Natasha Preston. The Island I gave 3 stars. This book was such a quick read. It's like just barely 300 pages and I think I read it in like a day and a half. Yeah, literally, I read this in one day. This book was, like, it was good, but it wasn't amazing, and I didn't like the ending. It's basically about 5 or 6 influencers go to this private island amusement park before it opens to, like, promote it and get people to, like, know about it, and they start to, like, go missing and they like start dying and you're trying to figure out like who the killer is. And honestly, the entire time I had no idea who it was gonna be. I've said this before, but when I read thrillers or like murder mysteries, I'm never trying to like figure it out. I'm just kind of along for the ride. So I genuinely had no idea who it was gonna be, so it was like kind of a surprise. But also like the plot twist at the very end I didn't like, and I hate the way it ended because it was like, well, I don't want to spoil it, but the ending was just so frustrating and I didn't like it. But I liked the book. I hated the ending. I would recommend this. I think my mom is gonna read it soon and I'm interested to like see her thoughts on it. I would recommend it because it's so quick and easy and I love the setting. Like I love the amusement park setting. It was so fun, but it's just, I didn't like the ending. I feel like these books I read so long ago, I barely know what they're about. But the next book I read is called With Love from Cold World by Alicia Thompson. This book I gave a 3.5 stars. This is the same author as Love in the Time of Serial Killers. If you've seen that cover, it like is very similar to this, like comic looking, and it's like pink and red. I'll put it on the screen so you guys know what I'm talking about. But this book I gave it 3.5 stars. I liked it. It just wasn't anything like super special. It's a workplace romance and they work at this place in Florida called Cold World. I always want to say Cold War, but it's called Cold World, and it's like basically a winter wonderland year round. There's like a ice skating and like hot chocolate. It's just like a place where you can do a whole bunch of cold activities, I guess, year round. And the company is like kind of about to go under, so they need to find ways to like revamp the company. It's like enemies to lovers. They like don't really like each other and then they have to work together on this project kind of. It was good, it was cute, it just wasn't anything like super special. Then I read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager and I actually gave this book a 5 stars. I don't give books 5 stars often because I just don't. I have a hard time giving books a 5 stars and I need to get better at it, but this book was a 5 stars. It was so good. It's about apartment sitter in Manhattan and she's had a lot of bad luck in her life, and then she gets this job apartment sitting this beautiful apartment and she's getting paid to do it, and she's getting paid a lot. And another apartment sitter in the building goes missing and she's trying to figure it out, and I did not see the plot twist coming at all. And it was kind of like a fever dream for a while. Like I was so confused, but it was so good and I loved this book. Like I loved it. Also, like there's then and now parts, but like the then is only like 5 days prior, so it's like a pretty quick timeline. But the now parts, the way they're worded, they make you think it's one person and then another, and it's like you're going back and forth and it's crazy, but it's so good and I really like this book. Then I read One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I tried to do a decent amount of like thrillers and mysteries to like keep with the October theme. This book I gave 4 stars. I really liked this book. For a while I didn't think I would ever pick up this book, but I did and I really liked it. I also read the second one. I finished it a couple days ago, so it's not in this wrap up. This book is about 5 students who go to detention, and then one of them dies in detention, and you're trying to figure out what happened, who did it, and why. And it was just so quick and easy to read. It's YA, and this like kind of genre, like YA mystery, is one of my favorites because it's always done so well and I absolutely love it. Like Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I love that series, and I kind of compare this similar in like the style but not necessarily the plot, but it was so good and I really liked this book. Then I read A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This was a brick to read, and my goodness, I gave this book 3 stars, which I feel like is gonna upset people, but honestly I don't care because it's my opinion and we can have different opinions, that's okay. But this book, honestly, I was like just struggling to get through. Like I just wanted it to end. I was confused and I was kind of bored and there was a lot of politics. I understood ACOTAR really well. And then going into ACOMAF, I think I was a little bit confused about some parts and I didn't ever like get it cleared up. So then going into this, I was like already confused, and then this was like more politics heavy and it added on like another layer of confusion. And I read all of these by listening to them on audiobook, which I don't think helped. So I feel like I kind of ruined this series for myself a little bit by not like actually sitting down and physically reading it with my eyeballs, because I feel like listening to it did not help. I want to read the Throne of Glass series, but I think I'm gonna actually read that with my eyes and fully understand it, because going into these not understanding it was really frustrating and like just not fun. If anyone else has had a similar experience, please let me know, because I think I did it wrong. I don't think I should have listened to the audiobook. Like that was my bad. Then we have another 5-star read, which is honestly so exciting, and that was Reckless by Elsie Silver. I loved this book. I devoured it. This book is about 475 pages and I read it in like 2 days. It was so good. Elsie Silver's books you can absolutely fly through. I think it's because like the start of every chapter has like a whole blank page, which honestly helps like the pages go by faster, and the chapters are so short. So I absolutely love her books because they feel like candy. Like they're so fun and easy to read. I love them. This one is a trope I wouldn't normally pick up. It was pregnancy trope, I'm pretty sure. Like I think that's what it's called. And it was so good. The guy in this book, like that is all I want in a man. He was absolutely perfect and this book was so good. Like parts of it almost made me want to cry because I was so happy reading it, and like it affected me so much for some reason. But it was so good. I like, why am I tearing up right now? This book was amazing. I cannot wait to read the next one. I think it's Hopeless or Heartless. I don't know. I can't keep track. I think it's Hopeless. But I can't wait to read it, though I don't really care about Beau that much. So I'm interested to see a whole book on him. I know I will care about him when I'm reading the book, but right now I just like, meh. You know, I don't care. But I do want to finish the series, so I'm excited to pick that up as soon as I get it. Next, I read Once More with Feeling by Alyssa Sussman, and I gave this book 3 stars. It honestly wasn't my favorite. I did not like the trope in it. I don't know how to describe this without spoiling it. Well, it says it on the back of the book, so if you don't want to know the trope in this book, then like skip ahead, but I'm gonna say it right now. It's the cheating trope, which I absolutely hate. And so she cheats on her then boyfriend with this guy, and then in the now, that guy is the director of this play that she wants to be in. So I didn't like it. Next, I picked up Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders, and this book I gave 4.5 stars. I love Jessie Q Sutanto's writing. It's so fun and silly, and it's always like a good time reading her books. They're cozy mysteries, so nothing's like too serious, and it's just funny. This one is about a little old lady who owns a tea shop in San Francisco, and one day she comes in and she finds a dead man holding a flash drive, and she is trying to solve the murder herself. It was so good and like funny. There's a whole bunch of characters in it though, so if you do read this, I think like pay attention to who's who, because it got confusing at first, but once I like kept going, I got into like the swing of things. But this book was so good and so cute. Then I read The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a series by her that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about until recently, and I absolutely loved it. This was the first book. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I would definitely compare this to Criminal Minds, but like with teenagers. So it's about like a group of teenagers who all have special abilities, in the sense that like one's like a natural profiler, one's like a human lie detector, like those kind of abilities, not like they can fly. And so the FBI like recruits them to help them solve unsolved cases. and like work alongside the FBI. So it was a lot like Criminal Minds, and I loved it. This book was so good and I cannot wait to pick up the second. Love this one. And then the last book that I picked up in October was Killjoy by Holly Jackson, and I gave this book a 2 stars. This is like a super short novella. It's the prequel to the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I picked this one up because there was like a couple days left in October and I wanted to like knock out another book, and this was like super quick and easy. I gave it a 2 stars because A, it's a novella, so like there's not a lot going on anyways, so it's not like the most interesting, I guess. Like there's not a whole lot of plot. So she goes to a murder mystery themed party, and that's kind of how she falls in love with solving murders and crime and that kind of thing. And it was okay. Like the ending was just kind of annoying because Pip was just like mad. I don't want to like spoil it, but like Pip was just mad and it was just kind of annoying. I was like, really? Like this is how we're ending the book? Like that's not that exciting. It was fine. I think you could skip it. I just already had it because I wanted the whole series and I read it because I had it. So those are all the books I read in October. I think it was 11. Those are the 11 books I read in October. Overall, it was a pretty good reading month, and November is off to a very slow start, but I'm hoping it'll pick up soon and then we can get another good reading month. Saying this, I don't know when I'm going to upload next. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more consistent, and I will be super consistent in like a month or so, but I'm gonna need time to get back into the swing of things. So bear with me. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate you guys and I love every single one of you, and yeah, thanks. Love you. Bye.